Today, we are going to speak about an important topic, especially if you are a business owner who is looking to start a new brand, or you are a business owner who is looking to rebrand their businesses. And this topic is going to be concerned with how to get your branding right from the beginning, whether you're starting a new brand or you are in the process of rebranding. And the good news is that there is a right way to go about building the brand, and there is a wrong way to go about building it. And unfortunately, a lot of business owners fall into going into that wrong direction, which I would like to raise awareness and bring more attention to. So this video is going to be about brand strategy. This is about how can you get your branding right. But I would like to introduce what is brand strategy and what is the main challenge that it helps you to solve. So first, we have the challenge is that we have the business owner and they go to a branding studio or they go to a marketing studio and they say, this is how I would like my branding to be. I want my brand to be like this. I want the logo to be like that. They become a director and they start to maybe like share ideas. They try to direct the person that they are going to work with. And the main problem here is that the process doesn't have any justified process. It doesn't have a solid foundation to where these ideas come from and why the business owner thinks that this is the right solution for their brands. Unfortunately, this comes from a subjective view of maybe seeing something or a brand performing well and you say, this is what I want for myself. And the problem is that you end up leading your employees, your designers, or the branding or marketing team that you're going to work with in going in a wrong direction. They're going to be profiting out of that because they are getting paid, but you are not going to profit out of that. You are going to exhaust your time, you are exhausting your resources, and you're not going to get the results that you are after. What if I told you that there is a right method to go about branding instead of you going to a branding studio or a marketing studio and saying, this is what I want, this is what I think that this is going to work. And the process is brand strategy. And brand strategy starts with diagnosis. So imagine that you are going to the doctor and you say, hey doctor, I have a stomach pain and I would like to have this medicine. I would like to take 2 pills of this medicine. Can you please prescribe the medicine to me so I can go and buy it from the pharmacy? And I believe that there is no professional doctor who's going to say, yes, of course, like here are the 2 pills, you've got a stomach pain, take these pills, they're going to help you to solve your problem. What a doctor would do is he would sit down and he would diagnose the issue. He would say, like, do you really have like this stomach problem? Let's check what is happening. What is this stomach problem? Where does it come from? What is it that you're eating? What kind of challenges you're facing? All that kind of stuff. So he needs to investigate. And it's the same way with branding. The most common scenario that I get to see is that when a business owner comes and they speak to me and they say, I would like to rebrand my business. I would have to diagnose, first of all, I would have to make sure, why does this person need to rebrand their business? And the most common question I would ask is that, well, if your brand is performing well and great, why do you want to really rebrand? It's working for you. And there are some business owners who are not very open about sharing their challenges in the business, which makes the process really hard, because if I don't understand the main challenge, I'm not going to help you to get there, right? So I would have to make sure that we dive a little bit deeper than the surface level needs. So I would ask the person, why do you think that you would need this rebrand? And the business owner would say, well, our brand is not professional and it's not living up to the value that we provide. It does not match with our services, with the quality of the products that we offer. And it's not consistent. It's not professional enough. Then I would ask deeper questions like, why is it not professional? Why is it not consistent? And the business owner would say, well, we really do not have like a set of consistent values. We do not have a set of consistent brand values. They are kind of using very spontaneous, random copy, random messaging at different points, and there is no consistency throughout their platforms and how they are communicating with their audience. Which takes me to the next step and ask a little bit deeper and investigate who is their audience. And they would say, well, we're trying to reach everyone. We are, we have a broad range of demographics. We're dealing with everyone from the age of 20 till 50 in Northern America, Southern Africa. They give you all sorts of random demographics that makes it really hard to understand who is the person, who is the end user that is buying their services. And that takes us to a deeper layer of the issue. And we would realize that really the problem is that they don't even have a brand and that they are just a commodity business. They are the same like any other business out there. They are not really unique. They are not after a very specific set of audience. They do not have a specific standards or specific values, brand values to communicate with in their messaging. And you realize that the problem is that their competition is coming and taking over. They have a better brand. They understand branding much better than them. And now the client is losing on sales. Perhaps it's another problem as well. It could be marketing problem is that they do not have the engagement that they would like to have. And that's because their messaging does not resonate with the audience. So there are conflicts. There are all sorts of challenges happening in the business. And it goes back to like revenue problems, sales, marketing, things like that. And I would have to be very honest with the person and tell them, okay, so let me get this right. So you are thinking that you have a sales problem. Do you think that like redesigning your logo is going to solve this? And now they get it. They get that what they think was the solution is not going to be the solution. And don't get me wrong, it could be part of the solution, but it's not the thing that is going to move the needle. And so we take it a step further in strategy and we dive into the prescription process. And similar to a doctor, before any doctor would prescribe a medicine, he would have to make sure that there are some things that are right, or he needs to make sure that this person is not allergic to this medicine, or this person has the right blood pressure. He would have to make sure before he gives him a set of actions that he understands his lifestyle, his eating habits, things that might conflict with each other, and things like that. And so we would have to get into a set of values in order to make sure that before we tell our clients what are going to be their set of actions or solutions, the prescription, we have to make sure that we set some rules for their brands. And the first thing that we would have to get to is audience. We would have to understand the end user, the consumer. And we would have to get into their demographics, we would have to get into their psychographics, we have to get into their desires, their needs, their challenges, pain points. What is it that makes them tick? Because this is going to help you to influence your brand values. And the brand values this is the part where we define who you are as a brand. This is your brand values, your culture, your personality, your messaging, your positioning, what makes you really unique and different than any other business out there. Because if I have an understanding that maybe the person that we are dealing with, the consumer, has a challenge that this person comes back from work. Let's say, for example, it's like a fitness brand or something. So this person comes back home tired after work and he needs motivation. Then I can say, okay, we can gear the brand to have a set of value or to have the personality of a motivational speaker, or like this is the motivator. Now everything in my copy is going to revolve around that. Now everything in my image, the type of image that I want to put on the website or the funnel or even the logo that I have for the brand is geared to a particular need. Now if I understand that this person is into, perhaps he's heavily into hip hop culture, into skating, into alternative cultures, that helps the brand to go or help us to create a set of brand values that are completely different. Or if it's a person who is more on the high end and they connect with things that are luxurious, that shapes the brand values. That helps us to understand what is it that this person is going to connect with. And now that we have an understanding of the consumer, their challenges, and what makes them tick, and we have a set of brand values, now we have something to work with. Now we can create solutions that particularly deal with your customers' challenges and pain points. Now we can craft something unique. Now we can create a program. Now we can create a sales funnel. Now we understand what type of lead magnet that they would resonate with, what type of content they're going to resonate with. If you're going to make a video, what type of music they're going to be interested in. They're going to be like, oh yes, this brand understands me on a deep level. And there is no way to achieve that if you are going general, if you are being spontaneous with your brand values. You do not have a consistent set of values. That is completely impossible. And once we have the actionable steps, then we can help you to solve your main challenges and help you achieve your goals as a business. So to define it very in a general formula, if you want to say, if we want to define strategy, we would say it's understanding your consumer and defining their challenges and creating a set of brand values that communicate with them to help us create solutions and prescriptions that is gonna solve their challenges and is gonna help you to achieve your goals. And this is brand strategy. And there is no way that you would do this if you go to a marketing or a branding studio and you want to direct the designer. You tell them, this is how I want my brand to be like. This is what I like. These are the colors that we should go for. Maybe this brand does things like that. I need to do a mix of this brand, and we need to merge these ideas and create something amazing. And if you're doing that while ignoring your audience, you do not create or craft something that particularly connect with your audience, with your market, and if you do not have a consistent set of brand values, you're not going to be creating something consistent. If you're trying to speak to everyone and your messaging is just all over the place, I'm not 100% sure that you will be able to achieve your goals. And this is brand strategy.